Welcome to SV Union High School and Junior College. Today we are going to learn about what is the constructor and what is the destructor in C++ programming, as it is a very important topic in C++ programming. Now we will see about the constructor. Constructor, it is a class member function with the same name as the class. A constructor is a member function of a class which initialization objects of a class. The main job of constructor is to allocate memory for class objects. Constructor is automatically called when object is created. Means what? Constructor is nothing but it is a member function. But it is different from the member function as its name is same as class name. So that we can say that it is a constructor. Constructor are used for the initialization of objects. The main job of constructor is what? To allocate the memory for that particular object, and the constructor is called when the object is created for that particular class. Now we can say that constructor is a special function as it is used to initialize class data members, or we can say constructor is used to initialize the object of class. Okay, means for the initialization of the object of the class, the constructor is used. Constructor must be in public area of the class. Means what? When you are going to declare the constructor, it should be in a public area of the class. That is, access specifier of that will be class. Key points: we cannot create virtual constructor. Okay, we cannot have the virtual constructor in program. We can overload the constructor. We can write the constructor overloading. These are the key points. Then characteristic of constructor. Constructor name and the class name must be same. This should be the first characteristic, that name of the class and name of the constructor is same. Then second, constructor does not return any value. Like other function, the constructor is not going to return any value. Constructor is invoked automatically when the object of the class is created. Means when in a main function you are going to create the object, that time the constructor is automatically created. So these are the some characteristic of the constructors. Now see the simple example. Here class A. In scope of the class A, public access specifier is there. Under that public access specifier, we declare int x, that is the declaration of the data members. Then we write A and the function bracket, and in comment section we have written the constructor. Then close the bracket of the class, that is the scope of the class. The constructor name and the class name are same, so it is called as a constructor. That is, the name of the class is A and name of the function is A, where we have written the comment constructor. So name of the class and name of the functions are same, then we can say that it is a constructor in a program. Constructors can be defined either inside the class definition or outside the class definition using class name and scope resolution operator. This is the important thing, that you can define the constructor inside of the class and the outside of the class. For example, see here class A, in which int number, declaration of the member. Then in under public section we have written A. So here constructor declared and completion of the class semicolon. So here ends the scope of the class, that is completion of the class. Here you declare the constructor. But outside the class, if you want to declare, then you have to use the scope resolution operator, that is name of the class, scope resolution operator, and name of the constructor. And in body of the constructor we assign number is equals to 1. Means what? If you are declaring inside of the class the constructor, then you can normally write. But when you are going to declare or define that particular constructor outside of the class, that time you have to write the name of the class with scope resolution operator and name of the constructor. Then there are the different types of the constructors are there. Following are main types of the constructor. First, default constructor. Second, parameterized constructor, and third, the copy constructor. We will see one by one in details. Now we will see the first constructor, that is the default constructor. As the name suggests, default. A constructor that accepts no parameter is known as default constructor. That is, in a function body of that constructor, we are not writing any parameters. It is the default constructor. If no constructor is defined, then the compiler supplies a default constructor. As if you are not writing any constructor in a program, then compiler define that as it is a default constructor. Now see the syntax: class student, then student, then this is the body of that constructor, that is empty. Here parameters are also empty, and then close the scope of the class. So it is the default constructor. Now we'll see the example. Class cube is there. In a public section, we declare the data member int slide. Again, in a public section, we define the constructor as name of the class and name of the function is same, so it is a constructor. In that constructor, we assign the value side is equals to 10. Then close the body of the constructor and close the body of class and the semicolon. In main function cube C, here object is created, that is class is the cube and C is the object, and C out value is C dot side. So by using that object, we are accessing the data members. Now the constructor is called automatically when the object is created. That particular characteristic we have seen. So this is the example about the default constructor. Now see in a program, public cube side is equals to 10. It is called as a default constructor of a program. In this example, int side. So in a constructor, side is equals to 10. It is called as a initialization, the instance variable here. Now in a main function, in this case, as soon as the object is created, the constructor is called, which initializes its data members. So it's one of the characteristic of the constructor, that constructor is called when you create the object of that particular class. So in this example, when the object of the class cube C is created, then the cube constructor is called. In the definition of this cube constructor, we are assigning the value side is equals to 10. So it will be display by using the cout statement. So this is the output of the program. Value is equals to 10. That is the constructor is called. Now we will see the second type, that is the parameterized constructor. A constructor that receives arguments or parameters is called as a parameterized constructor. Means when we are going to pass the arguments or parameters in a constructor, then it becomes the parameterized constructor. Construct with parameter is called as a parameterized constructor. All constructor executes at the time of object creation. Means when you create the object, that time the constructor is called. When we will create parameterized constructor, then we have to pass argument value at the time of object creation of that class. Means when you are going to create the object, that time we have to pass the value for that particular constructor when we define that constructor as a parameterized constructor. We will see in an example. Now see the syntax for the parameterized constructor. Class student. In a class student, in a body of class, here we declare the parameterized constructor student, and here we are passing the value int a comma int b. When we passing this value as an argument or parameter, then it becomes the parameterized constructor. So this is the syntax for the parameterized constructor. Then you write the body of that constructor, then close that body of the constructor, and then close the scope of the class. Now see the example, class cube. In a class definition, public int side. So we declare one variable under the public access specifier, that is the side. Then public cube in bracket int x, and the in body we have written side is equals to x. So it becomes the parameterized constructor. At the time of the writing this constructor, we write here int x. Then close the class. In a main function, cube C1 is equals to 10, cube C2 is equals to 20 and cube C3 is equals to 30. Then C out C1 dot side, C2 dot side and C3 dot side. Means see here, when we create the object that is a cube C1, that time we pass this 10 value. That is, here we create that constructor as a parameterized constructor. So when we create the object, that time you have to pass the value as we have seen. So here in this program we create the 3 objects, and at the creation of these 3 objects we pass the value, and by using this object we calling that data members, that is a C1 dot side, C2 dot side and C3 dot side. So this is a simple example of the parameterized constructor. See in an example. In a main function C1 dot side, by using parameterized constructor, in this case we have initialized 3 objects with user defined values. We can have any number of parameters in a constructor. Getting? So output will be 10, 20 and 30. So as many as object you can create, and when you create that much object, that much time the constructor is called, so that much value you have to pass. Here I created 3 object, so 3 times that constructor is called, so 3 values pass. If I create the 5 object, then 5 times that constructor will called and 5 output will be there for this program. Now see one more example. Class student. In public section, int roll, string name and float mass. These 3 variables, that is the data members we declared under the public section. Then public student, int r, comma string nm, comma float m. Here we create the constructor with the parameters. So it is a parameterized constructor with 3 parameters. Then we assign the body of the constructor with roll number is equals to r, name is equals to nm and mass is equals to m. That is roll number, name and mass. We declare these 3 variables in a class student under public section, and our roll number is equals to r, name is equals to nm and mass is equals to m. That is the r, nm and m. These are the parameters we pass when we create the student constructor. So it is a parameterized constructor. Now we define the display function. In display function we are printing the roll number and name and the mass by using the cout statement. Then closing the display function and close the class. That is the end of the class. Scope of the class is end. Then in a main function, C int main, student s. In student s, that is we create the object of the class student. S is the name of the object, and here we are passing the parameters. Which parameters? That is a roll number, name and the mass. So we pass 2 as a roll number, Adil is the name and the 90 is the mass. As it is a parameterized constructor, when you create the object, that time you have to pass this value, and by using s dot display, that is we were calling the display function using the object, and in display function we are displaying the roll number, name and the mass, that is the displaying the student's detail, and a return 0. As we have written the int main, so we have to return the 0. In parameterized constructor we have to pass value to the constructor through the object. So this is the main thing that we have to consider and keep in mind when you are writing the constructor with the parameters, that when you are creating the object, that time you have to pass the parameters or the values, that time creation of the object. Now see the output of the program. Roll number is equals to 2, name is equals to Adil and mark is equals to 90. So 2, Adil and 90. These are the values we have passed at the time of the creation of the object. Now we'll see the next type of the constructor, that is the copy constructor. These are the special type of the constructors which takes an object as argument. See, it is an important thing. Copy constructor is a constructor which take parameter or argument as a object. So we can pass object as a argument in a constructor, and it is used to copy values of data members of one object into the another object. What it does, it can copy the values of the data members, that is the value of the variables, from one object to the another object. So when you want to copy the values from one object to another, that time you can use the copy constructor. Initialization of an object through another object is called as a copy constructor. Okay, means we are passing the object as a parameter for the constructor. So here what happens is initialization of the object from one object to the another is takes place. In other words, we can say that copying the values of one object into another object is called as a copy constructor. So this is a simple definition, that is copying the values of one object into the another is called as a copy constructor. See the syntax. In a syntax, class name, class. Class is a keyword and the class name. After that you have to write in a body of the class constructor name, and in a body, that is a function body of the constructor name, you have to write the parameter as class name and obj name. This is the syntax. Then you can define the body of the constructor, and then you can close the scope of the class or end of the class. Now see the example of copy constructor. Here we define the class student. In that class we define the data members int roll, string name, float, mass. Then in public section we define the first constructor, that is the parameterized constructor. In that we are passing the student int r, comma string nm, comma float m. So these are the passing argument, and for that variables, the data members we declare roll number, name and mass. For that we are assigning r, nm and m respectively. So this is the first parameterized constructor. Now we'll see the second parameterized constructor, student, student and s. So see, this is the type of the copy constructor in which we pass the object. So we are writing roll is equals to s dot roll, name is equals to s dot name, and mass is equals to s dot mass. So this is the way how can we pass the object as a parameter. So it is called as a copy constructor. Now in this example we declare the display function. Here in a display function we are writing roll, roll number, name and the mass. So in this example statement 1 is creating an object s2 and passing another object s1 as parameter to the constructor. So see in a main function student s1, in here we are passing the parameter 2 comma adil comma 90. So first one is the parameter constructor. Here we are passing the roll number, name and the mass, and second object we created student s2 where we are passing the s1 as an object. So this is the how we passing the object. Now values in object s1. So s1 dot display, when we call the display function by using the s1, that is the first object. Now value in object s2. So here again by using the second object we call the display function. So what happens is in this example statement 1 is creating an object s2 and passing another object s1 as a parameter to the constructor, second constructor. So constructor 2 will take the reference of object s1 passed by the statement 1 and copy all the values of object s1 to the data members associated to the object s2. Means whatever the value pass at the time of the creation of the object s1, that will be copied in a s2 object by using the statement student s2 s1. That is the first statement, statement 1. Now see the output of the program. Values in object s1, roll number is equals to 2, name is equals to adil and mass is equals to 90. And see values in object s2, again roll number is equals to 2, name adil and mass 90. So whatever the parameters you pass at the time of the creation of the s1 object will be same in a s2, because we are passing the object as a parameter for the second constructor, and it does what the copy constructor does. It does to copy the data members of one object into the another object. So both output will be same but the objects are different. Now we will see when is copy constructor called. In C++, a copy constructor may be called in following cases. First, when an object of the class is returned by the value. Okay, that object is returned by the value. When an object of the class is passed to a function by value as an argument. When object we pass to the class as an argument. Third, when an object is constructed based on another object of the same class. One object is constructed on based of the another class of the another object of the same class, and when compiler generates a temporary object. So in this situation it is called. It is however not guaranteed that a copy constructor will be called in all these cases, because the C++ standard allows the compiler to optimize the copy away in certain cases. One example being the return value optimization. So this is the way or things, situations happens is when the copy constructor is called. Now it is possible that constructor overloading. Constructor can be overloaded in similar way as function overloading. We know what is a function overloading. That function having the same name and the different signature or return type. Here we can also declare the constructor overloading. Overloaded constructor have the same name, that is the name of the class, as we are going to overload the constructor, but as it is a constructor the name should be the same of the class, but different number of the arguments will be there. Depending upon the number and the type of arguments passed, specific constructor is called. Since there are multiple constructor present, argument to the constructor should also be passed while creating an object. We have seen that when you are creating the object, that time you have to pass the argument, that at the time of the definition of the constructor, how many arguments you have passed, that much arguments you have to passed at the time of the creation of the object. When you are writing the number of the constructor, it is possible, but you have to take care of the passing of the argument. That should be same when you are defining the constructor and you are creating the object of the constructor. Next we are going to learn the destructor. Destructor is a special class function which destroys the object as soon as the scope of the object ends. The destructor is automatically called by the compiler when the object goes out of the scope. So constructor and destructor comes. By using the constructor we can create the object, or when you create an object the constructor is called. Whatever the constructor is called or the object is created, that time some space is occupied in a memory. That space is free by the destructor. The object created is destroyed by the destructor. Destructor is also the same function. That is the name of the class and name of the destructor should be same. The syntax for the destructor is same as that for the constructor. The class name is used for the name of the destructor with a tilde sign as prefix to it. See in a syntax, class A. Then under public, again here it declare under the public. Then tilde sign, name of the destructor and the function brackets, semicolon, close the class and end. So here class name is the A and destructor name is also A. So this is the introduction of the destructor. Now when you are going to write the destructor, we have to follow some rules. Destructor cannot be overloaded as the constructor can, but you cannot overload the destructors. Destructors takes no arguments. You cannot pass any argument for the destructor. They don't have a return value. You cannot write any return value in front of the destructor. Now constructor is invoked automatically when the object is created. As we have seen, when you create the object, the constructor is called, but a destructor is invoked when the object goes out of the scope. In the other words, we can say that the destructor is invoked when the compiler comes out from the function where an object is created. So this is the way when the constructor is called and when the destructor is called. Now we'll see the example. Class A is here. In public section we declare the constructor. In that body of the A we write the constructor called. Then we write the destructor. In the body of the destructor we write destructor called. Destructor defined in a class of the body. Okay, where we have to define the destructor only in a body of the class. Then close the class. Then in int main, that is we are going to define the main function. In main function we write a obj1. Okay, here we create the object of the class A. A is the name of the class and obj1 is the name of the object. So when this statement we are going to write a obj1, that time means we create the object, and only this situation the constructor is called. Then we write int x is equals to 1. If x, then a obj2, that is the constructor is called. Then after the closing this bracket, the destructor called for obj2, means two objects we are created. Then when again we close the second bracket, that is the bracket of the main, then the destructor called for the obj1, means when the object comes out of the scope, that time the destructor is called. Now see the output of the program. Constructor called, destructor called, destructor called, means by using object, two constructor are called. Two object we created, two constructor will called. When that object come out the scope, then the destructor called. Two time destructor called as two object created, two constructor created, that should be destroyed by two destructors. Now we will see the example. Class student. Here we declare the variable int roll, string name, float mass. Under public section, we declare the first constructor in which we are assigning the value roll is equals to 4, name is equals to Adil, and mass is equals to 100. Closing the constructor. Now we are defining the display function. In display function, we are printing this value by using cout roll, roll, cout name, name, and cout mass, mass. So we are printing the roll, name, and the mass. Then closing the body of the display function. Then we are writing the destructor student by putting the tilde sign, and in the body of the destructor we are writing the end of program. Then close the body of the destructor, close the body of the class student, semicolon. In main function we are writing int main, and in body of that we write student s, that is we create the object s of class student. So at this time what happens is the student constructor will called. Then s dot display, here we call the display function. So here it will print the roll, name, and the mass. See the output of program. Roll 4, name Adil, mass 100, and end of the program. Means when student s, that is the object is created, constructor is called. S dot display. So by using display, it will display roll, name, and the mass. And when that object created, that is s created of the class student, it come out of scope, that time it is the destructor called, and in destructor we printing the message end of program. So this is the output of the program. So we'll see when a destructor is called. A destructor function is called automatically when the object goes out of the scope. Remind this thing. When the object goes out of the scope, the destructor is called. First the function ends, then the program ends, a block containing local variable ends, a delete operator is called. In this case, the destructor is called. So we have seen what is the constructor, types of the constructor, what is the destructor in this chapter. Thank you.